I'm not quite sure if it's going to rain today, but I'm getting to see mostly cloudy weather being reported. So just keep an eye out. Most likely in the afternoons. Maybe if there's in the afternoon rather, there's going to be a change. You would definitely get to hear during the major news bulletin. But this morning we're talking about development in River State, Port Harcourt in particular. Now I remember having a conversation a year or two ago when we were comparing the level of development with in Port Harcourt with that of Warri and other Niger Delta state. And a lot of you back then said, man, Port Harcourt is amazing. You cannot compare Port Harcourt to Warri, you can't compare Port Harcourt to Yenegua, you can't compare Port Harcourt to, Uyo or Do. I kind of contested that one that day. However, this is the reason here, right? Because now that we are talking about creating a proper town planning facet of the government, making sure that the government does, a better job of placing not just people, but amenities, all right, infrastructure, all right, that will benefit the entire area. Now, a lot of you who are listening to us obviously would say, okay, the road network in Port Harcourt is slightly better right now with the flyovers, or maybe much improved, depending on what side of the divide you're on, okay? So it's much improved. And it's going to give the state a much better outlook in the next, 10, 15 years, when, as you would expect, more things will be built, more things will be done. But in the process of trying to decongest the city, all right, there is an aspect that is not physically expressed, and that is the practices, the cultural norms and nuances. Back then, like I told you, when it was just a single road, it was not very common to have a lot of people, travel down. In fact, we used to say if you're leaving, once you pass Rumokuta Market, right? Those days, once you pass Rumokuta Market, that means you are traveling to Chuba, because that's where, very well, the University of Port Harcourt is. You would travel. And so in their minds, people will say, okay, when we get to campus, it's a different mindset entirely. But now the people of Chuba, Rumalogu, they are now more open than they used to be before. They have people who are residents, students staying in those areas, workers staying in those areas. You have hospitals in those places. You have bars, you have restaurants, all are now situated. It's making the place more cosmopolitan. It's becoming livelier. So if they have more guests, they have more visitors. So certain things, certain practices would either be imbibed, or like our first caller made mention, would just fade away. Or maybe they have to be cut off. I don't know. But you tell us. It was not unusual when we were in school back then, if you just walk down to Omoku, right? Umoko, rather, not Omoko, Umoko, right? That's in Alu, right? If you walk down there, right, you're going to find, maybe some people who will just cross the streets, sometimes bare chest, or, with their bicycles, they are going to the farm, they will even insult you while you walk on the side of the road. But now the roads are wider. They don't do those things. They honestly don't. Now, when I listen to the comments by, the town planner who says, look, we need to get more professionals inside, which is good, which is needed. We shouldn't forget that town planning is not, like the message I read, is not just about buildings alone. It's about the people. We need to decongest the center. Fine. But whilst we're decongesting the center, are we changing the practices? Are we changing our habits? Are we being more courteous to other people in the environment, or in quotes, the new environment?
We have over the years called on the government to take us away from this one city syndrome. As the assembly begin to look at this bill, we urge them to get town planners involved. Of course, other professionals, architects, engineers who are of the built environment profession, so that there won't be lacuna in implementation we had in the 2003 fiscal planning law. The new town development will bring up neighborhood designs, neighborhood plans. We must also say the assembly members must not play politics with this.
So it will bring out new development, new plans, and it's very true. Like I made mention of Lagos earlier on. If you from the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, you can almost not tell where Ogun starts or stops and where Lagos starts or stops. You can't. There are big buildings, there are estates all over the place. And with estates will come hospitals. With estates, you come bars, restaurants. With estates, you come swimming pools, recreational centers, clubs. And I'm not talking about your discotheques and your dance halls. I'm talking about, clubs where people can play lawn tennis, or where people can play basketball, sports, all those things are bound just between Beggar and, I would say, let me see, okay, let's say Maza. And this is in Lagos. It's caused a lot of problems. You have boundary issues. This is our. But the point I'm trying to make here is this: Lagos is not, in quotes, centralized to Victoria Island or Surulere or where else? Whereas Ikeja or Ikoyi, it's not. It's expanding. But with that expansion came changes that were not physically obvious, but were in the practices people had been used to. My name is Jude. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Stimulating and insightful conversations. Hello, Port Harcourt. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
So 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0007. WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. All right, that's where you send us a message on WhatsApp. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Isaac here on my page saying, hi, Jude, good morning. It's not enough, like you said, to have buildings, but you have to ask yourself, Jude, when they're having this town planning, do they consider the communities themselves? Some of these communities have been there for thousands of years. They have certain practices, and you really don't just uproot people and send them to go somewhere because you're building new roads, schools, and hospitals. There needs to be proper dialogue across all platforms between those who are carrying out the, in quotes, building and the development, and those who have been there before the building and development. Zion is in GRA. Interesting comment there. Zion, do you agree with Isaac, Zion?
Also true. But the area I want to consider more is the indigenous people involvement in embracing the development. You cited Lagos between Ogun and Lagos State. Don't forget, Lagos is not the name of a city. Lagos is the name of a state.
Mm-hmm.
And the capital is Ikeja.
Ikeja.
I wonder when we will remember there is a capital city mentioned Ikeja. We talk about Lagos. Now, don't forget, the Lagos is also encroaching on those states. That is the Lekki Igbe and the rest of it. Now, the presence of the indigenous people is to say, no, don't demolish this building. It has stayed for over 80 years. We want to preserve it for our children to know our story. Do we do that? No. Certain trees should not even be tempered. I mean, trees should not be tempered. They are also like artifacts or lyrics of that community. Jude, do you know that any community a growing market is found? There always used to be a tree there.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yes. This truth is, all these are stories we should be preserving for our children. But what do? We give us peanuts, they will demolish the tree. They will give us peanuts in the name of compensation, demolish a building that has stayed there for over 100 years. Houses our fathers used. You normally brought this guy from Ikwere to your studio to speak, and he always make the mention of rapacy. I ask, can any Ikwere person pinpoint the house or the earth rapacy lived? I guess nobody knows. Rapacy, ask him anything, any day you see him, ask him. We have demolished it, even sold that land. What will that tell? Histories are gone. So as development is coming, the indigenous people should be conscious to say, look, this and this and this is needed. Look at the Gwena Valley and the poor areas. They normally what they call Egeleke, which is the wrestling festival.
Yeah.
Are they still holding it? Is this still prominent as it used to be when we were growing up in Port Harcourt? We used to attend those wrestling. Are they still doing it? Or they have politicalized it? So I think as they call for town planners, they should also look a space for the indigenous people contribution. Where they can be able to tell the government or the developers what kind of building that is needed, what is also needed to be done, trees and houses not to be tempered, and also within them, they should learn to also sustain their culture. Their wrestling, their New Yam Festival, their traditional dance, their songs. Get a hut. I think here they call it Obiri, where you can tell these stories, document your stories, because most communities have lost the documents that bind them. Mr. Zion.
All right, thank you very much, Zion. Okay, all right, we need to address something here. Okay, all right. You can hear me clicking, right? I'm responding to a complaint. I don't quite understand. I don't know. Okay, we'll have to address that later on. All right, Jude. Good morning. One of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen from the sky is Germany. Everywhere looks like it was painted on. The lines look accurate. You can tell where this place is starting and where this is stopping. Even the rivers seem to be designed in such a way that they don't even get to flow beyond their certain banks. That's what proper town planning is. It's brilliant, not just from the land but also from the air. People can appreciate, and that's why people will respect their environment if it's properly planned. That's what we need. Any practice that doesn't fit into that particular vision should be done away with. Robin is Neche. Robin, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, my brother Jude.
Good morning.
Jude, I know that you're asking us questions, but I would like to pose a general question. What is the job of Ministry of Culture and Tourism? What is their work? Somewhere in exotic office collecting salary. What is their job? Ministry of Culture and Tourism is whose duty to encourage the indigenous people to maintain their culture. Isn't that ministry? I don't understand.
I agree, Robin. Well, hold on, Robin. I agree. I don't know if you ever paid attention. There was a conversation I had with our local Dibia, China Achori Kwereman, a few months ago, but we talked about the sacrifices that we used to see along the roads in some parts of Port Harcourt. I don't know if you caught that conversation. Now, some people said they should continue, right? And some people say no, it's fetish. Now, all of this is because those places have become more developed. Now, you're not seeing most of. I don't know when you last saw somebody bring out cocoyam and kill the chicken at a junction in your neighborhood, but people are saying they're not seeing it any longer, and they're saying now that our culture is dying, that they want to be able to sacrifice things.
It's just a coin.
It's a coin.
There are two sides of the coin. Those who say they are not seeing it because they are passing through where they are not seeing it. Like I pass through areas that I'm seeing them.
And you're happy with them.
That is the truth. I've seen them. In the part of the area I live in a church.
And you're happy with them.
About 4 or 5 days ago.
And you're happy with them.
What their constitution provides? Freedom of worship. Allow those who want to do their thing to do their thing.
Well
the
said.
first election, don't you see them at the INEC office? Why you not seeing people there pouring libation? Are you not seeing them? No, Jude, I want to ask you.
No, we did. No, there were pictures, there were videos. We even had, if you remember, Robin, we even had a former presidential candidate who came to the courts with a babalao.
Good. Because our constitution allowed that. That is why I have been argument. I have never agreed. Each time the former governor says if I say 100% Christian, I said no.
Okay.
Because my former local government chairman, Ahoda East, was a doctor, a native doctor.
Okay. Christian is now order. Christian, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, Christian.
I do that compared with the former caller now. The work of the work of Commissioner or Minister of Culture and Tourism. Do you know some of these countries, civilized countries, they don't have food oil. They don't have anything. The thing that boosts their economy is their stories. They have tourist areas. They don't have any other way to make much money like Nigeria. But they have tourist areas that people travel from here
and go. Very true.
The government and go around. I confirm with the man. Thank you.
All right, Christian. Thank you very much. So, you should be allowed. Not everything should be, discarded, and I agree. But there are some practices that, yes, maybe they would, like the first caller made mention, maybe they will have to just undergo a natural, demise. But maybe there are certain practices that, should be actively discouraged. That's what we want to find out. One of those, how do you manage those practices, whatever they are, however you see them? So 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0007. All right, don't forget, later on, 11 o'clock, all things being equal, I beg to differ debate will start. We have two sets of brilliant debaters joining us, and the contestants are already primed. I'm even getting information that some of them are starting to come in. So get ready, go have your batteries recharged. Make sure you are in a comfortable place to listen to arguably the region's best debate program. You don't want to miss it. Arguably. All right. So 0817923-0002, 0817923-0003 at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH. And if you just join us, we're talking about development in Port Harcourt as the place spreads. Now, just over the weekend, we got to hear that, look, there's a town planning committee. There's a bill to that effect. And, there are obvious benefits to this, decentralize, the area. Like, what's his name? Zion mentioned that, look, a lot of people don't remember that Ikeja is a capital. Lagos is the state. Ikeja is the capital, right? But the level of development has spread so far that a lot of people don't even remember Ikeja as capital. A lot of people don't. Everybody just goes there and says, "Oh, this is the Lagos we did." The whole place is Lagos. Iyanapaja is Lagos. Begao is Lagos. Ekpe is Lagos. But all of these areas, all of these communities, see, I like for you to liken it to the way Ahoda is, right? Ahoda is about what? I'd say 30 minutes away from Choba Junction. So it's about 25-30 minutes away, all right? You get to Ahoda. But from Iyanapaja to, let's say, Keja, it's almost an hour's drive. It's almost. And now, let's juxtapose the vast scenario to communities in Taraba I remember a friend of mine who went to Taraba and even Jigawa. The next local government was 3 hours away. 3 hours. Now imagine if all those areas were developed. Proper town planning. That's what people want to see in River State. Let everybody not be in Port Harcourt area alone. Ibiso is speaking to us from Odili Road. Ibiso, good morning to you, please.
Yes, you. Good morning.
Good morning.
About the development we are discussing of. Like in Lagos, sometimes I used to ask people if I'm in the circle, which local government is, because you don't know the next local government you are going into. The way the development is there. Like we are talking about Nyanapaja. The person that is saying that Nyanapaja is not envying somebody that is saying that he is Ikoyi. Because everybody at his own area is his own Jerusalem. I was in Lagos. My brother is saying that the Trade Fair area. I think we don't see each other for the past 6 months. Because everywhere you are, is Jerusalem. The development there in the island, you don't know which local government is because of the way the development is going. Like here, when you are living in Obiapo, you see that the beer.
Yes.
The development there is something else, my brother. It's good for our food to emulate such things.
All right. So, but the worry Ibiso that we're trying to get at is, as development comes, people ask, what are the practices that people should, either let go of or modify. People are worried that, okay, for example, I spoke to somebody and the person said, if they make Aoda like Port Harcourt, wouldn't Aoda become as dirty as Port Harcourt? Do you understand?
Yes. Just come up with your question.
Well, I spoke to somebody and the person said, look, he's afraid that if they make Aoda as good as Port Harcourt City, that Aoda might become as dirty as Port Harcourt because, people will come, they'll be throwing their dirt, nobody's cleaning, those are the kind of practices. Yeah.
I disagree with the people. I disagree with them.
Okay, like, why?
Lagos, let me tell you something about Lagos. I want to say this on air now. Lagos is now, the way they develop Lagos, if you are trying in your area, that, like maybe you are staying in Archie Street, Archie Street are paying to the sanitation for that come and take the mission. Every house that paying to that authority. So nobody will litter anywhere. If you want to develop, put a law, make everything, nobody will litter anywhere getting dirty. Let them develop that area. Aoda is all local government. Degema, Bodi, all of that. All local government are they're supposed to develop. When they develop that area, dude, Port Harcourt will even reduce the population because
that's the aim.
Go there. Infection will go there. You understand? Link the Rivana area with road. Like look at Tolbina Bridge. Link this place with road. People will go there, and the people will go there. Look at Bakana. Bakana is close to Abuna Wharf. How many means to Bakana? How many means to Tombia? Link them. Where you link them? The people will go there. Nobody will get anything. Which that's not issues.
Okay.
For me, they don't do it.
All right, so that's my excuse. People worried about the sanitation levels could it be? Well, rule of thumb, if more people in trash, right? New places are going to happen because have more people have good have more people who not to the rules and regulations. Straight rule of thumb. All right, we'll wrap it up shortly. I get to read some messages. Keep sending them to 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. 92.3 Nigeria. We'll be back in a few short moments.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcast Commission, NBC,